country honours fallen soldiers and victims of war and terror. Ex-President Morsi sentenced by Egypt court to 20 years in prison. El Al plane with faulty wheel lands safely at Ben Gurion Airport. And Women of the Wall read from full-size Torah scroll at Kotel. Shalom and welcome to the Jerusalem Post News. Here are the top stories for April 21st. Israelis will come to a stop this evening to honour 23,320 fallen soldiers and civilian victims of wars and terrorism. A minute-long siren will sound out around the country at 8 p.m. After the siren, a memorial torch-lighting ceremony will take place at the Western Wall. Ahead of the day of mourning, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the gravesite of his brother Yoni, who was killed in Operation Entebbe in Uganda in 1976. Israel will commemorate 116 recently fallen soldiers and civilians who lost their lives in the past year. Of these 116, 67 soldiers and 5 civilians were killed during Operation Protective Edge last summer. An Egyptian court sentenced ousted President Mohamed Morsi to 20 years in prison without parole today for the killing of protesters in December 2012. It was the first ruling against Muslim Brotherhood leader Morsi since the army toppled him in 2013 after mass protests against his rule. The court also sentenced 12 other Muslim Brotherhood leaders to the same prison term, including Mohammed El-Beltaghi, General Secretary of the Brotherhood's now banned political party, and former parliamentarian SM El-Arian. The decision may be appealed. An El Al passenger jet with a faulty wheel successfully made an emergency landing at Ben Gurion Airport today, after it was called back to Tel Aviv shortly after taking off for Prague. Israeli authorities declared a state of emergency at Ben Gurion Airport after tyre shreds were found on the airport runway from which the plane departed. El Al confirmed that the pilot was returning the plane to Israel in order to fix the tyre and said that passengers will be taken care of by El Al representatives at the airport. A Jewish male activist was detained by police yesterday after he passed a Torah scroll over the Kotel barricade separating men and women to members of the Women of the Wall group. Monday's prayer service marked the first time in the group's history it was able to pray at the Kotel using a publicly provided full-sized scroll. According to Rabbi Barry Leff, when Haredim realized the Torah had been passed to the women, they forcibly went to the women's side to take it back. Leff and the activist Charlie Kalech tried to intervene but say they were beaten by Haredim men. Police said they removed Kalech from the area to prevent further incidents. And that's it for today. We'll be taking a short break for Remembrance Day and Independence Day, but you can get all the latest updates on JPost.com. We'll see you again on Sunday.